Hey everybody, welcome back to Champ & Sons in our NCAA baseball series with the Texas Longhorns. And we have got a 3-game setup against the Hurricanes out of Miami. This is a big-time matchup for us. Not so much for them. If you look, they were like 10-24. That's a pretty rough record for them. I mean, they got to try to bounce back, but let's hope they don't start that against us here in Austin. Now, we are number 2 in the Big 12 right now, and we've got Brad Huff coming up on the mound with a 3-3 record, a 3.07 ERA, 40 strikeouts to 15 walks, giving up 37 hits in 41 innings. So he's had pretty good outings, I think, just hasn't gotten a whole lot of run support. That's something we are working to change. We do have an actual winning record going right now, 21-15, second in the Big 12, right behind Baylor. So let's get into it with the first batter, Carlos Vasquez for the Hurricanes, sporting a .273 batting average, as Huff has got him to a 1-1 count after 2 pitches, and that one goes in for a strike down and away. So the count is now 1-2 to Vasquez, and Huff comes home with the pitch. That's going to be a high pop up to left. Thornton running up underneath it. Should be easy enough for him, and he gets that first out of the series for us. Easy little pop fly as we take a look at the Hurricane lineup. So coming up is going to be Dunn and Vasquez for the top 3, followed by James, Coronado, Vega in 4, 5, 6, Pearson, Gelman, and Ward to finish it off at 7, 8, and 9. Only Vasquez sporting over a 300 batting average, so you can see why this team is struggling right now. But hey, 240 is not shabby. Henry Dunn has got a 241. So you still got to be careful with some of these guys, but they put up more runs than they get hit. So I think a lot of times we're seeing some walks happen, some kind of errors probably getting them on base, because they do put up some decent run numbers. Now that second guy, Dunn, is going to hit a little pop-up right over there. Roberts will gather up underneath that one in foul territory and make the easy out. So 2 up, 2 down for the Hurricanes offense here, as Doug Vasquez comes to the plate with a 1.090 OPS and a 365 batting average. This is obviously going to be their best hitter that they have. Huff's first pitch gets delivered in for a strike, so 0-1 is a count. And he comes home with another one that's going to be just outside for a ball, as he threw that slider, just couldn't get it to fold into the zone. So 1-1. And he's going to hit a little blooper to short center, and who's that came up from it? That was just incredible. That's who that was, chasing it down in the short outfield, holding Miami. No hits there in the top of the first inning, as they don't even touch the bases. That's the way you want to start a game. Huff being our number 2 pitcher, and he is coming out firing on all cylinders. Now we will be facing off against Rusty Foster for the Hurricanes, as Mariano Vasquez comes to the plate with 3 home runs, 12 RBIs, and a 346 batting average. Had been a pretty good start to the season so far. First pitch to him is going to come in for a ball here. Or no, that was a strike. You've got to be kidding me. That was further in than what it showed. 0-1 is a count to Vasquez, though. And he's going to swing at that next pitch. It looks like he had pretty good timing on it. Just couldn't get a hold of it. It was a slider down and in. So well placed on the off-speed pitch as Vasquez grounds out short. So coming up after him is going to be Hamill and Ramirez to finish off the top 3, followed by White, Roberts, and Burroughs for 4, 5, and 6. And Thornton, Ellis, and the one and only Just Incredible coming in the 7, 8, and 9. And if you look, did you see how well our team has been hitting as of late? So I'm glad to see them starting to turn things around like that. And Hamill dropping that one in. So they're not hitting all that many home runs. So it's not a whole lot of power hits, right? But we're getting guys on base. Now we need to start making that transition from not just getting them on base, but getting them home. So we still had a lot of games go into extra innings, a lot of lower scoring games, and we've got to start driving guys in. That's kind of where we've had our letdown. It's not getting the hits, it's getting the guys in when they're on base. So now that Hamill is on first, Cristobal Ramirez is going to come to the plate. He does have 4 home runs on the season with a 286 batting average. First pitch was a ball, and here comes Foster with the next one, and they do a pitch out expecting us to steal. But with Hamill, we've kind of gotten used to that's how they're going to do things. So So the second pitch didn't really wind up for it, but let's see what happens with 2-0 as Foster comes home. Hamill takes off for second, and he's going to be in easy right there. Hamill, what a steal on that one. Let's take a look at the stat cast. His lead was only 11 feet. He hit the 20-mile-per-hour mark. That is pretty good closing distance from first to second. He's now in scoring position. So Ramirez facing a 2-1 count. He can be selective here. As that pitch comes in, he hits a high fly ball to deep right field. And that one is actually going to be caught just shy of the warning track, but Hamill will tag up and move on over to third base. So he's only 90 feet away from scoring, but there are 2 outs here in the bottom part of the first. Rusty Foster, pretty good with what he's faced so far. But coming up is Curtis White with a .211 batting average, but he's got speed, which is why I love having him in this cleanup spot. And he's a switch hitter. We only have like 2 of them on the team. Other than that, it's all righties. So White, he's valuable coming off batting left-handed in this kind of spot. First pitch was a strike on the outside corner. Next one is going to be ball high, just barely out of the zone. And so the count is tied up at 1-1 as Foster checks Hamill over at third, and he comes home with the pitch, and White's going to hit that one. It's down to right field. It does get down. White's going around first, and he's actually going to head around second. He's not stopping. Hamill scores. White slides into third with a triple. What a hit by Curtis White, his second triple of the season, and he gets the RBI to give us the early lead in this one. He got a hold of that shot, and it just landed perfectly. It just went just slightly too far for the right fielder to actually come up underneath and make that catch. And then his speed, he turned it on, and now he's 90 feet away with Will Roberts coming to the plate here with White at third. Now, Roberts does have a .242 batting average, so you know he can put the ball in play. So the first pitch comes outside for a ball. 1-0 is the count to Roberts as Foster gets set and comes home with the pitch. He's going to blast that to third. It hits off the third baseman, and he throws it over to first, but he comes off the bag. That should be an error. But Roberts is going to be safe, and White is going to actually score. That could be a game-changing play. I mean, are you kidding me? Roberts blasted down the third base line. He made a great play to stop it. And it looks like he had time. Roberts isn't all that fast. But he makes a poor throw, so Roberts is safe. White does score. And the Longhorns now lead 2-0, and this inning is still going. Scott Burroughs is going to come to the plate, checks his swing on that one, but it looked like it came in the zone, and it is going to be a strike either way. He's got 1 home run and 2 RBIs on the season, the 136 batting average. But he hasn't had a whole lot of chances, so I think we definitely need to probably get him in, and that'll kind of work on getting those chances for him. As he hits a grounder over to second, and he actually beats it out. Another diving play. As they had to stop it, he's not able to gather it up. Burroughs hits a pretty hard one right up the middle. Second baseman just couldn't gather it in, and so Burroughs is safe at first. Now Michael Thornton, batting .309 on the season, comes to the plate. That first one is going to be a ball on the inside. That was a pretty close call right there. 1-0 is the count to Thornton. And he's going to hit a high fly ball to left field, and that one is going to be tracked down by the left fielder. Out number 3, but damage has been done, ladies and gentlemen. We have taken an early lead. 2 runs off 4 hits in the bottom of the first inning. Now we're going to jump ahead to the bottom of the third inning where we continue to lead 2-0 here. 1 out in the bottom of the third. Will Roberts, who you saw got that hit earlier. Looks like I guess they did call it a base hit. I thought it would have been an error, but they called it a base hit. So he's 1 for 1 on the evening and facing a 1-0 count. And this time he blasts that one up the middle, and that's going to get past the shortstop. So Roberts, his second hit of the evening, he is going to be standing on first now. 1 out in the bottom of the third inning. So here comes Scott Burroughs. He's also 1 for 1 on the day as Foster gets set. And he comes home with the pitch. And Burroughs, he's got a deep fly. No doubt about it. Oh, my goodness. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Scott Burroughs sends a moonshot out of left field. Wow. First pitch. See you later. This lead has now been doubled to 4-0 here in the bottom of the third inning. Woo, Burroughs does have some power. Respect his authority. As that pitch came in and he timed it up, you saw that a perfect shot and just blasted it 436 feet. That thing was unstoppable flying out of here. As we now lead 4-0 here in the bottom of the third inning. So Foster is going to deliver that one to Thornton, and it's going to fall just foul. Thornton swinging pretty good late behind it, as the count is now 0-1. Foster comes home with the next pitch. Thornton's going to foul that one off too. Looks like he needs to get his timing down just a little bit better. Not sure really where he's going with it. Facing 0-2 pitch. He's going to hit a grounder over to third. Are they going to be able to get him? As they fire it over and he stays on the bag, makes a good throw. Thornton is going to be thrown out. That was a pretty good play by the third baseman. He sees what happened whenever he makes an error, so good job for him. So now our catcher, Mike Ellis, our youngster, comes to the plate. And this is really his first season with us at our level. So faces a 1-0 count. Now it's going to be 2-0 here, as he can be pretty selective. This pitch count is kind of getting up for Foster as he's coming in with his 40th pitch in just the third inning. Ellis drives that one straight to center field, but he doesn't have to move it much. Good contact by Ellis. Unfortunately, went right at the guy. However, Burroughs does the deed to the Hurricanes and doubles our lead as we now have it 4-0 here in this game. And our offense kind of goes stagnant after that, but so does the Hurricanes coming in here to the 9th inning. We do lead 4-0. All right, now I bring in Ryan Kidd. This is not a closing opportunity. It's not Baker and it's not Hammond, but I needed to get someone else in because Huff was getting pretty tired there. And Kidd gives up one of the few hits the Hurricanes have had. Down to the left field line, and that one did fall in. So he is standing at first. So good job by Thornton to chase it down and get the throw in quickly. And I'm going to go ahead and get Hammond warming up just in case I have to bring him in if they get one of those runs by. That was just the third hit of the evening for the Hurricanes. So we've kept him in check pretty dang well. However, we are facing the top of the lineup. Carlos Vasquez comes to the plate. As he fouled off that first pitch, the second one comes down low for a ball, so he's facing a 1-1 count here as Kidd comes set and comes home. That one is going to be in for a strike cutter, coming across a pretty good pace at 98 miles per hour. Here comes the 1-2 pitch, and that's down for, oh man, that curveball. I thought he swung at it. He did not. 2-2 is where it stands now. And he fouls off that next pitch, so we will remain at 2-2. As Kidd checks the runner over at first. Comes home with the pitch, and that's going to be hit down the side to Burroughs, who's just going to get the easy out at first. I don't know if we would have been able to turn two at that point. I didn't trust that, so went on ahead and got the out that I knew we could get the easiest at first. So they do have a man on second. Henry Dunn to the plate, 0 for 3 on the day. He grounds over to Roberts at third, and he fires it over to Burroughs at first. That's out number 2. And the good thing about that is the runner could not advance any closer, so he stays at second. So Kidd has got the Hurricanes 1 out away from losing this first game here, as Vasquez comes to the plate 0 for 3 on the evening as well. However, he's dangerous. He's batting a .407 with runners in scoring position. But now he's facing a 1-1 count after that ball is called for a strike here down low in the zone. And Kidd delivers a 1-1. It's a high fly ball to left field. Thornton is going to get up underneath that one. That's going to be an easy out. And that is how game 1 of this series will end. It is a 3-game series. We take the first one. And that was a big-time win, 4-0. Our pitching was outstanding. Huff went basically all 8 innings. I brought in Kidd in the 9th. It was not a save opportunity. Just needed to give Huff the rest. Didn't want to risk putting too many points on the board. Curtis White came through his big triple early in the game to get the RBI going, to kind of get our offense firing off. Hurricanes, they made some plays that one was a bad throw. I'm pretty sure Roberts would have been out. I would have probably called that an error, but they gave it to Roberts. There was a lot of tough plays out there that the Hurricanes could not turn, and that's kind of what led them to go down early Burroughs with the moon blast. But our pitching did outstanding. Held the Hurricanes with 3 hits, I think, in the game in total. So well done by our pitching staff. Now we come to the second game as we are getting this one started off in the bottom of the first inning. Miami is leading 1-0. So they got the jump on us in the top half of the first. But, hey, we've made some lineup changes. We're kind of shaking things up, trying to figure out what can work best for us. And Curtis White is going to actually be leading us off today. Y'all seen his speed. You know what he can do. That's a major asset having to come up at the beginning. Now after that next pitch comes by, that one was a ball. So the count is 2-1 to White as Gil Lerna comes home with the pitch. And that one's out just outside as it's now 3-1 to White here to open up the offensive half for the Longhorns. So 3-1 and the delivery, and White's going to hit that one deep down the right field line. No chance of that's caught as it barely almost goes out of the stadium, but just not quite. So now the payoff pitch comes in. White drives it to right field. He makes a diving catch. Are you kidding me? Their right fielder comes through. He made that catch. Oh my goodness. What a play. Laid out for it completely. 100% route efficiency. I like that little stat. It seems kind of useless. But Pearson went full bore on the layout, and he made that catch. White would have been on first, and if he had missed it, he's probably inside the park home run. But he doesn't, and so now we have one out here in the bottom of the first inning that we're trailing 1-0 to the Hurricanes here in Austin. So Joe Burroughs, you haven't seen him a whole lot. He's new to the squad. He's batting, right now it says .333. He hasn't had that many opportunities, so don't read too much into that. And on that one, his second pitch, or third, he drives it to right field and is actually going to be standing there on first. One thing I do like about him is that he does have a lot of speed. So now that he got that one through, is that his speed is going to be a big asset. That's one thing I'm trying to get in, is bringing a lot of guys that have got some good speed. Let's see if we can't get Burroughs moving here on the base pass. The first pitch is going to be quickly coming home with the cutter on the outside edge for a strike. So 0-1. Mark Gonzalez is making an appearance today. We have to give just Incredible some time off. He's been putting in a lot of work for us. Give him a day rest. So Gonzalez now fouled that one off. He's 0 for 2, or 0-2 is the count he's facing as Lerna comes home. But we take off on the steal. The catcher couldn't even gather it in, but it wouldn't have mattered. He was safe by a mile. Burroughs, my goodness, the amount of speed that kid has. As he was standing at second by the time the catcher gathered it up. So now Gonzalez facing a 1-2 count. If he can get a hit, that's a run. And that ball comes in high to even it up at 2-2 here in the bottom of the first inning. There is one out. As we all saw, Burroughs is standing on second. Gonzalez drives that one deep to center field. It's going to be caught, and I'm not going to test it. I probably should have. Burroughs has definitely got the speed to test that. But either way, a hit is going to drive him in, whether he's at second or at first. So I didn't want to, just make that one mistake where a guy makes a good throw. Next thing you know, we're out of the inning. Now Scott Burroughs is going to come to the plate here, batting 167. Had that big home run in the game 1 of this series. So they might want to start looking at him a little bit more carefully. So the first pitch is going to be high for a ball. 1-0 is the count as Lerna gets set. He checks Burroughs at second and comes home with the pitch. And that one comes in for a strike. Oh, my goodness. That didn't look like it was in the zone as much as they're showing. The count is evened up at 1-1 apiece. So now Lerna comes home with the next pitch. Burroughs drives that one, and it's going to get down for a hit, and Burroughs is rounding third. He's coming home. The throw is slightly off. It wouldn't have mattered. This game is tied up. Burroughs drove that one to right field. That line drive, it gets down. He's safe, and Burroughs is going to score on that one. Beautiful job of batting, taking it the other way, and it goes right over the second baseman's glove. Ball's on the outside edge. He pushed it to the right. Way to go, Burroughs. And Burroughs gets home. Now here comes Will Roberts batting .250 on the season. And he's got Burroughs at first. First pitch was a swing and a miss for a strike. So here comes pitch number 2. Swing and a miss again. Roberts is kind of off kilter with his timing right now. He needs to get that short up for definitely. Now 0-2's the count. Roberts drives that one to left field. It gets down. A good solid line drive to left. But that is going to give him just a single as we now have a man on first and second. This inning is still alive here. Yeah, we jumped off to the 2-0 lead in the last game, and that kind of helped us seal it up, and especially with the third inning performance that we had and getting the 2 runs off that homer. This is going to be a big moment for us in this one as Kenny Falk comes to the plate now. And he gets it. Oh, my goodness. Oh, baby, no doubt about it. Did not see that one coming. Kenny Falk. Whoo, goodness gracious. That was a violent blast. 400 feet to left field. No doubt shot. Moon blast. See you later. Have a nice evening, sir. 3-run home run. Oh, wow. Kenny Falk coming through big time. Just a perfect timing, perfect hit. And he knew from the second it went off his bat. 400 feet. And even the left fielder knew there's no chance. No, don't even worry about it. Just watch it go. Enjoy the spectacle before your eyes. And was that 3-run home run. And now we lead 4-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. Jumping out on this team may be exactly what we needed to do. Jose Villegas comes to the plate, batting .256 on the season. And he lets the second pitch go by for a ball, facing a 2-0 count here. As Lerna comes home with it, Villegas drives it deep right center field. They're not going to catch that one. It gets down. He's rounding over to first, and he's going to stay at second. Villegas there at second, standing up. Wow, his 9th double on the season. Woo, he got a hold of that one, and we are putting it where they are not. As that goes in for a good, solid double in scoring position for Luis Manuel, batting .282. He does have 14 RBIs, though. So we've got potential to drive home the run. So Manuel facing a 1-0 count. Lerna comes home with it. He's going to hit a high flip ball to right field, and that's going to be too easy as they make the catch. And the Hurricanes finally get out of this first inning. Kenny Falk does all the damage with a 3-run blast, made it 4-1. So we got 4 runs on 5 hits. And we have a 4-1 lead here against the Hurricanes in Austin. Game number 2. And we're going to move on up to the top of the 5th inning. Miami has already gotten one grand slam on us. The score is now 8-5, and they have got the bases loaded. Top of the 5th inning, 2 outs. As they're going to hit a little blooper. Just incredible this time chasing it under. He has been put into this game. We need him in the defensive side, and he showed us what he could do right there. And so that's why we've got to have him in, and he makes the play to get us out of that jam. Miami has not gone away in this one. We put up some runs. We got to 8. The score was 8-1 after the going into the 4th inning, and then they hit a grand slam to make it 8-5. So Miami is not going away here as we are in the bottom of the 5th inning, 1 out. Luis Manuel coming to the plate. 0-2 is the count. And he's going to drive that one to center field. The center fielder's chasing it, unable to come down with it. Manuel rounding first and is going to be standing up at second. He doesn't have the speed to get over to third. I thought they were going to catch that one, but just unable, just out of their reach. And Manuel's got his 5th double on the season. And look at that. It looked like it was going to be headed out. Just not meant to be. So now comes Credible. 1 for 2 on the day as that first pitch comes in high and outside for a ball. The count is 1-0. As Credible comes to the plate with a man in scoring position. The next one comes in, and Credible is going to, timing just off on that, but he does get good solid wood and hits it foul. The count is even up at 1 ball, 1 strike apiece. So he's facing off now against Pablo Franco here, who was brought in to replace Lerna in the 1st inning. And Franco's going to get Credible to ground out there over to third. And now there's 2 outs in the inning as Curtis White comes to the plate. White is 0 for 3 on the day. And White, he's going to drive that one, and that rolls down the right side. Just foul before it gets to the first base.
line.
So now 0-1 is the count. Franco delivers it. White, that's going to be a line drive. It's going to get down. So the run will score. Now White's rounding second. He's not staying. He's going to third. Curtis White slides in. His second triple in as many games. What a performance by this young man at the plate. Curtis White supplanting his position and playing on this team as he comes around with another triple, another RBI triple as we now lead 9-5. And Joe Burroughs comes to the plate, sporting 2 for 3 on the evening with 2 outs. He's going to swing at that first pitch. It's going to be a grounder over to third, and that'll end the 5th inning. But Curtis White adds more runs on, and that was that was really big for us. So now we're going to advance to the bottom of the 6th inning. The score is still 9-5 as Burroughs comes to the plate. We do have a man on first, so we're talking some dangerous position to be in. Facing off against Cesar Morales this time, and Burroughs, high fly ball to left field. Does it have enough? It does. It's gone. Oh, my goodness. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Scott Burroughs got a hold of that one, and there's another 2-run homer. He's got 2 2-run home runs in as many games. Wow. White and Burroughs, these new guys are showing out for us. This is a big-time offensive performance. I'm glad to finally see it. And look at that. Look at Burroughs mean-mugging that ball as he swings at it. Reminds you of a picture of Rocky or something fighting Drago. Just the mean mug, the stare down. And Burroughs does it to the baseball as he drove that one out for a 2-run shot here in the bottom of the 6th inning. As let's see, Roberts comes to the plate. He's going to hit a high pop-up to the short center. That one does get gathered under by the second baseman. So we are now with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. But 2-run blast. And now we got Kenny Falk coming to the plate. Y'all saw what he did in the 1st inning. Well, also in the 3rd inning, he hit another 2-run home run. So he has been, just on fire today with the 5 RBIs. The 2 home runs, 5 RBIs. So now he's going to try to go for 3 in a game, and he's going to hit that one, grounded up the middle. The shortstop gathers it in and fires it over to first. Looks like 3 home runs not meant to be at that at bat, as he does ground out up the middle. So now Jose Villegas is going to come to the plate. He's 2 for 3 on the evening with 2 doubles. And he's had a pretty good evening as well coming in from the outfield there. Cesar Morales comes in with the first pitch, and they're going to call that a strike. It looks to be pretty well on the outside. However, they called it on the outside edge. So 0-1 is the count to Villegas. He drives that one. It hits the pitcher. Oh, man, Morales not able to gather it up. That looked like that would have hurt him. But I think he's going to stay in right now. And, yeah, he does. He stays in the game. And so we're sitting here looking at him. Bottom of the 6th inning, 2 outs now. But Villegas is on first. Morales just got hit with the pitch. As we take a look at some of who we got going up. We're going to bring Hank Cruz in relief to see what he can do for us to try to keep the Hurricanes off the board. So 1-0 is the count to Manuel. As the pitch comes in, it's going to be a grounder. He stops it on the dive, and he's not able. He doesn't get it off. You've got to be kidding me. That third baseman, he seems to panic. Anytime he's got to hit the dirt to make a play, he's not able to do it generally. So now we got 2 on, and Justin Credible comes to the plate. He is 1 for 3 on the day. He's had some rough appearances. He's hitting the ball pretty well. It just seems to be going right at people for the moment. So facing an 0-1 count, Morales comes home to Credible, and he's going to hit a chopper up the left field side. The third baseman gathers that one and fires it over to first, and that'll end the 6th inning. But Scott Burroughs, another 2-run blast here. Now, that one wasn't as sure as the other one, but still just as effective. And that would be it for game number 2. We would win 11-5. We ended up shutting them down. And our offense, kind of dialed it back a little bit. Don't need guys getting injured or nothing. So 2 games in, we have won both of them. This one got 11 runs off 20 hits. They got 5 runs off 10 hits. So great offensive performance by our guys. Pitching probably could have been a little bit better, obviously. But you give up a grand slam, stuff like that's going to happen. But we just got to watch out for those little mistakes. Other than that, I'm proud of the way this offense is playing. Curtis White, his second triple. Burroughs, his second home run. One in each game for both of these players. They're new to the team, but they are making a direct impact. That's what we wanted to see coming into this season. So now we're going to come into the third game here as Mark Cortez is going to enter this game. We are pretty well deep into the action here in this one. So I think we're at about the 7th inning. Yes, we're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Now we are trailing 3-2, but we do have two guys on. Cristobal Ramirez is to the plate. He's sporting 2 for 3 on the day. 1 out here in the inning. We're trying to play catch up, basically. So Ramirez swings at that first pitch. That is going to be strike now. 0-1 is the count. This time he doesn't go chasing. Lets that one get called for a strike. Ramirez batting 187 with runners in scoring position, needing to see improvement. And that should do it. He drops that line drive into left field. 1 run will score, and I'm not going to push it and advance this over to third. Cristobal Ramirez comes through big time for us and gets this game tied up at the bottom of the 7th. We've been stuck at 3-2 for most of the back half of this game. But finally, Ramirez kind of starts to break that as the game is tied 3 runs apiece. And now Will Roberts is going to come to the plate, 0 for 3 on the afternoon, but there is only 1 out, so he's got potential to make something happen. Mark Cortez facing his second batter since coming in. 1-0 is the count now as that off-speed pitch comes inside and out of the zone. Cortez gets set and delivers the 1-0, and that's going to be inside as well. Another off-speed pitch, unable to get it at the right speed or in the right placement. And Will Roberts batting 179 with runners in scoring position. So that's what I meant when I said we got to get guys across the plate when we get them in scoring position. That's what we failed to do. Now Roberts lets that third pitch go by for a ball. The count is 3-0, so we can be selective. We don't have to swing right now. We can definitely be selective and try to get something that we can drive into the outfield. So Cortez comes home with the pitch. Roberts swings. That's going to be a high fly ball to right field. It should be easily caught. And it is, and I do not trust us to get in there to third safely. And thankfully we didn't go. Probably would have been out. Hey, only 2 outs. We're still alive in this inning. Kenny Falk, 2 for 3 on the day, comes to the plate. Falk lets that first pitch go. It's an off-speed pitch just on the outside edge. He is batting 387 with runners in scoring position. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Falk drives a line drive to left center field. It gets down. 1 run is going to score. And here we come around third. No, we hold up. We do hold them up. Okay, we got 1 run across the plate, so we have taken the lead now. Kenny Falk is having a great series. A lot of these guys have stepped up, playing big at home in front of our home crowd. That is a big thing to get a good fan base behind you. So now Jose Villegas comes to the plate here. Bottom of the 7th, still 2 outs. Man at third and first. And that pitch is going to be swung, and it's going to get past him on first. They called it fair. We're rounding the bases going to second. And we're going to hold up at third and at second. Another run will score to make it 5-3 now here in the bottom of the 7th. Villegas gets his RBI double. Another one to mark off on his tally. I'm surprised they called that one fair. I really thought that would have gone foul. But after that other run scores, Miami has no choice but to bring in Steve Conrad. He's been in 6 games. He has a 9 ERA, 5 strikeouts with 2 walks. And those batting averages for right-handers being at 375 and left-handers at 500. It's not boding very well for him. So Mike Ellis comes to the plate, 1 for 3 on that afternoon, and he's going to make it 2 for 4. It drops and another run scores, and Villegas comes home as well. The relay. Villegas is thrown out at home. You've got to be kidding me. A step too slow. But we did get the 1 run, so we do have a 3-run lead as we now lead 6-3 with 6 runs off 13 hits to their 3 runs off 9 hits. And we're going to advance this one on up to the 9th inning as we bring in our closer, Robbie Baker. He's got 10 saves with 11 opportunities, been in 15 innings, 21 strikeouts for 1 walk, and batting average for righties is 208, while the batting average for lefties is 214. He's a pretty dang solid closer that we have. So that first pitch comes in, and that's going to be a strike. 0-1 is a count to Jonathan Coronado. He's 3 for 4 on the day. His batting average against righties is 400. So we've got to be careful with him. I cannot allow him to do damage to us. If he gets on base, he gets on base. So be it. But I do not need him crossing home plate. And he's going to drive that one to Roberts there at third, the hot corner. Roberts gathers that one and looks like he struggled with it. But he does get the throw over to first. Coronado is out. And so now we are 2 outs away from a complete series sweep. We have not had one of these in forever. So this is a big moment for us, a big 2 outs. As Baker comes home and we appeal down to third. They say he didn't swing. You've got to be kidding me. 1-0 is the count now to Vladimir Ramirez. As Baker delivers that next pitch, that's going to be a fastball in there for a strike. The count is evened up at 1 ball and 1 strike apiece. Baker coming right at these hitters. Comes home with a 1-1 pitch, and that's going to be, they call it a ball. Oh, that was on the edge and should have gone for a strike. However, it's 2-1 instead. Now that next delivery comes in. Falk, he's going to hit it right over to Falk there at first base. He picks it up and touches the bag. Fairly easy grounder for him. Now they're down to the final out. This is our first sweep in about 2 years. Baker comes home facing off against Ernesto Vega. It's going to be a high pop-up. Hamill, this is easy. Can't accord. That game is done. The complete series sweep has occurred. We beat the Hurricanes 6-3 in this one. That is big-time baseball for us. Way to come through. This team has stepped up a lot over the last basically couple weeks of baseball. I mean, my goodness. We got the complete game sweep of the Hurricanes. Now, the first game we held their hitting to nothing. They got 3 hits. They started getting a little bit fired up as the last 2 games came along, but we prevented their runs from scoring, and that's been big for us. Our pitching staff has come through. Our relievers that at times can be an issue have stepped up and really helped, set up our closing pitching, have really helped shut these games down once we've gotten the lead. So great performance by this team. Look forward to what we continue to do throughout this season. And with that in mind, if you have not hit the subscribe button, definitely go ahead and hit that for us. And if you did like today's video, give us a thumbs up. It really does help out the channel, and we greatly appreciate everything that y'all do for us here at Champion Sons and all the support y'all have shown us with this channel, with our channel, this series, and some of the other series we have going on. Thank y'all very much for that. And so I will see y'all in the next episode. I'm not sure who we're going to be playing or what point of the season, so we'll have to see what happens then. But as always, everybody, stay safe. And, well, y'all know how it goes by now, right? Later, y'all.